Well, hey, what's up? I'm going to call this episode 0 of the Killer Growth podcast. I just felt like I should talk about my heart for Killer Growth podcast, why we're doing it, and what to maybe expect. I should probably be really salesy right now, but I've already shot 4 episodes leading up to this, which was intentional. And man, I've learned a lot. Gosh, I've met some awesome people, I've heard some great stories, and it's kind of taken me to a deeper place of how hard this entrepreneurial journey is. Starting a business, running a business, doesn't matter what you're in. If you're just building something for a living and your paycheck's not guaranteed, it's freaking scary at the end of the day. There's no way around it. And I spend every day talking to business owners all over the country. And yes, I exist on the digital marketing landscape. This podcast is under Killer Growth. But I thought I'd talk about Killer Growth at its core, how we came to exist, and how this podcast came to exist. I've been starting and helping build businesses for 13 years. Failed real bad. Lots of times, still failing. Had some winners, had some bad eggs, and both have happened simultaneously for the last 13 years, to be honest. And through that process, I've just, honestly, I'm hooked, I'm addicted, I'm obsessed with what business is, not on the money side, because tell you what, could have made a lot more money doing other things than what I've done. Hindsight is obviously a big deal, but I view that as progress, growth. I've built my tolerance of being afraid of failure. I've built tolerance in how to be with certain people. And at the end of the day, there's no way around it. I love building businesses with people and helping people with their business. And I've consistently done that for 13 years. I guarantee I've given some real bad advice, and I hopefully have given some good advice, but I genuinely never really thought about money for the longest time, to be straight up. I just love the idea of building something that could create control of time, create independence, create financial independence, create jobs, create purpose for other people. At my core, it took me a long time to get to this point. But at some point, I don't know if I was reading a book, to be honest with you, but I was doing this identifying my core values, what's important to me. And I came to the resolution that at my core, I love creating opportunity and value for others. And I titled it Missional Entrepreneur for a long time, but at its core, that's what it is. I genuinely have so much fun seeing other people prosper and succeed in whatever they're doing. And it's fascinating to me, after being a part of 12 startups, that there are so many ways to do that. And it doesn't always look like wealth. It doesn't always look like what everyone thinks it should look like on the outside. Sometimes you just build something for yourself, right? Sometimes you just build something because you love to build. You build something because it's going to help people. You build something because at the end of the day, the satisfaction of finishing it is huge. It is so powerful to bleed for something. It's so powerful to give it your all and fail and try again. And we don't always make it, right? I've been a part of a few that have not made it. I have some running right now that I'm not sure, in all honesty, are going to make it. But when you build that tolerance, you get those reps in, you're around people that love you for who you are, regardless of if you fail or make a lot of money. That's just a powerful environment to be in. And I've been very fortunate to be surrounded by people like that, especially with my partners at Killer Growth. And that kind of brings me back off that tangent to why the Killer Growth podcast. And you kind of heard it. That's the why. I genuinely love talking to business owners. It doesn't matter what they're in. You're going to see podcasts on here that don't have anything to do with marketing, to be straight up with you. You're going to see podcasts about people doing certain businesses where digital marketing has no influence whatsoever. But technology probably comes into it in some way. But at its core, the most important part, the roots of every business is someone's core beliefs, their passion to help other people and deliver quality services or goods, right? The second part is I want to do this more. I want to meet more people. I want to meet people that I'm not going to have a transactional relationship with and also just a relationship with, talking about their business, learning about them as a person. And I felt like this was the best way for me to get other people's stories out, get my story out, and just reveal what people are going through and find the core of why they're doing what they do. And if it's money, that's okay. I know people that do it for the money. I know people that do it for the purpose of it. I know people that do it because that's what they know or they were born into it, right? We all have different reasoning. You might be called to do it because you believe God made you to do that, right? There's a lot of things that drive us and give us purpose in whatever trade we're in. And I think the worst case scenario is you're stuck doing something because you just have to pay the bills. And we live in America. And what a huge opportunity, right? In America, it is hard, but it is so attainable to create something of your own, to build something that helps other people, that isn't the 8 to 5, that doesn't make a lot of sense, that your parents are going to say you're an idiot, and you probably should get an 8 to 5, right? It usually makes the most sense. But I feel like so often we miss the chance and experience in life to take serious risk for a great reward that isn't financial. The financial side of it can happen. It does come most often. If you treat people right, you provide great quality services or build great goods, right? Build a great product. The money tends to follow. But ultimately, if you exist to create opportunity and value for others in whatever you're building, and if that's where you start, and my biggest regret is that I didn't always have that at my core. That's a pretty recent thing for me. In 13 years of self-employment, I would say the last 5 or 6 years, that was at my core. And I just desperately want to see my employees succeed. I want to see my business partners succeed. And I love serving other people and creating value. And I can say without a doubt, like that comes back to you. It circles back. What you give does come around. And I firmly believe that. When it comes around, no guarantees, guys. Are you going to get taken advantage of? Yes. That's life, right? But should you stop trusting people? No. You should put yourself out there and trust people. You should start businesses with people. You should start a business by yourself and have employees that you trust. But business as a whole is so much more than transactions and services and goods. It's a living, breathing thing that affects so many people, affects so many lives. And if you want to come to the end of yourself and see what you got, put yourself to the test. How much endurance, how much work ethic do you have? Starting a business is a great way to start. And I would highly encourage you, find a community, find a group. I've been very fortunate to have great people around me that also love it and have been willing to trust and be vulnerable and talk about how hard it is and not pretend. The worst people to be around are the ones that pretend everything's okay and it's easy. It's not wrong to smile all the time, but it is wrong to pretend it's something it's not, right? Because then you're not being honest with yourself. But yeah, at the core of Killer Growth, I want to build bridges. I want to build trust with people. And this podcast is a way for me to have dialogues with people and hopefully get to the root of why they do what they do, learn something new. On the 4 podcasts I've already done that are already released on there, 1 through 4, I've already learned a lot, to be honest. I have notes, I have takeaways. We've been posting clips of some just great gold nuggets from people. But man, if you're in a position you can learn something from everyone, even people you don't like, that's a superpower. And if you're in a position that one person I had on, Tom actually owns an HVAC company, and he said his greatest superpower is knowing what he doesn't know. And he's like, that's what separates him. He's aware of what he doesn't know, and he finds someone who knows it or surrounds himself with people who do know it. And that's my vision and hope for the Killer Growth podcast, is that you get some nugget. You get one good thing, one takeaway for your personal life, for personal growth in your career even. Obviously, we're going to gravitate towards business talk and people building things, building brands, from small business to medium to hopefully large business experiences like enterprise level. But that's the number one takeaway for us, is we want to create trust with people and identify opportunities for people to grow in ways we can grow. And we're not going to make this all about marketing. We're going to really avoid anything that feels salesy on this podcast. We're just going to have great, relaxed conversations. The structure of the podcast is pretty bad, to be honest. There's not a lot of thought that goes into each episode. I think of about 10 very important questions. And when I say important questions, I really just think of 10 questions that I think are interesting. And I hope you guys think they're interesting. And I might not even ask the 10 questions, but our guests will not get any questions up front. They will get absolutely nothing up front. They're going to sit down and I'm going to have a conversation with them. And there were some good parts of those 4 episodes, some bad parts. I've already learned a lot on those 4 episodes of how to navigate those questions to bring out the best out of the guests I have on the show. So I'm going to learn a lot as we go. I'd love feedback. I really love talking to people, and I've always wanted to put out content that's helpful, but I just freak out on camera by myself and it feels wrong. This is super hard. I'm by myself right now in the studio at 10 o'clock at night because I didn't want anyone around. But I love talking to people. If you know me, I like to talk. That's no mystery in itself. But I thought the best way for me to really put valuable content out there that was about business and growth and learning from other people was in this style, and not me just holding up a camera, doing a monologue with, you need to know this. And so the two core parts of this: number one, we hope we build trust and gain a lot of really new, great relationships. If you watch any of this podcast, if you get some takeaway from this, I'd love to meet you and I'd love to get your feedback. Shoot us an email specifically on the podcast. I'm not going to sell you anything. I want to meet people that are doing things and I want to learn from them. And on the off chance, every once in a while, maybe they'll learn something from me. That's going to be in the minority though. My goal is to just interview them the best I can, give them a chance to really tell their story, because everyone has a story that is worth hearing. And whether you're a really small business, it's just a solo entrepreneur, to startup, to established, to medium, to enterprise level company, I think we all have a lot to learn. And I love a laid back podcast setup. I don't want this to be super formal. I want it to be comfortable. I want us to laugh. I want us to say inappropriate jokes. I want us to press a little too hard. I already had 2 people cry of the 4 episodes, and that's great. That's what I want. I want it to be real, authentic. And I think this world is lacking a lot of authenticity. And my goal is to build trust, identify something real out of someone, have real talk, ask the hard questions, talk about the real things, talk about the hard things, talk about the worst days, and be real about the worst days, because the worst days are freaking hard when it comes to running a business. Partnerships are hard. Family dynamic is hard when you're building a business. It takes everything in you and you have to sacrifice a lot. And I think that's worthy of talking about. I think that's worthy of conversation. I think these are stories that are worthy to be told and heard, and to have great dialogue around. That's why we're doing the Killer Growth podcast. Hopefully you get the heart of it. I'm Sam McVay. I'll see you on episodes to come.